Alrighty boys, we're back here with a brand new action figure video review. This time we're going to be taking a look at the SH Figuarts Dragon Ball Super Son Goku Ultra Instincts Toyotarou Edition action figure. So let's get started. Just lay Goku off to the side here. We got this ginormous packaging here. Let me just go ahead and raise that up a bit. That way you can see that. You have Toyotarou's signature right here, and then right here as well. And then it's also on the actual packaging, which is inside of this outer packaging. Bandai Namco Dragon Ball Super Tamashii Nations Bandai. You got the Dragon Ball SH Figupedia in gold chromatic lettering here, looking very, very nice. You have you have this right here, just painted on there. Nothing is really spot varnished on this particular packaging. I don't think. You have a nice sheen to all those product shots and stuff like that. On the bottom you got the barcode, legalese and stuff like that. On this side you got more product shots. On the back you have a preview of the SH Figupedia, and I will not actually be opening the Figupedia. It came inside of a it was wrapped in a pliable plastic. I'll just show you that right now. So, well, I will show you the cover. So that's the cover. On the cover you have the every 2.0 and 3.0 in the series up to this point, I do believe. Super Saiyan 4. Yeah, I saw Super Saiyan 4 somewhere in here the other day when I was looking. So yeah. So this is every 2.0 and 3.0 right here. You have Pan, Kid Goku, stuff like that. And then on the back is where the 1.0s are, where the line started. This is what started it all right here. All of these figures on the back that you see. So yeah, again, I will not be opening this. You can see that it's wrapped in the plastic foil. So yeah, I did not want to open this. I might get a second one, and if I do get a second copy of the figure, then I might open this one and then just leave that one mint in box, because this is a figure that would be very nice to have 2 copies of. It's a bit expensive, so you know, not exactly inside of my budget at the moment, I will say. Give me a moment while I get this actual packaging out. Okay, so as you can see, once you pull the actual packaging out of the outer packaging, you have a just a regular normal cardboard box that goes around the trim of this specific packaging. You just place your fingers from either hand right here and then pull it out just like so. That way you can get a good look at it. Once again, Toyotarou's signature is right there on the front underneath Son Goku, which looks very, very nice. You have this figure shot, which looks pretty nice as well. Nice editing. I like how they have the aura in the background. You have the product shots once again on the right side, and then the top right of the packaging. And then you have a bunch of product shots on the back here. Somewhere in here says Spectrum Reviews is awesome. And then you have one more at the bottom. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the packaging. Yep, I'll be right back. And here we have the Son Goku Ultra Instinct Toyotarou Edition figure. Yeah, it looks really, really nice. So the orange in real life is a bit darker than what the camera is portraying it as, but that's perfectly fine. You got some nice shading around the crevices of his musculature and stuff like that, looking pretty nice. It is pretty well applied. Kind of wish it extended to the back on this, like on his back itself. You know, it kind of goes to the back of his forearms and like the back of his shoulders and stuff, but not really his actual like back. The pants are nice and shaded as well, ever so slightly. It just gives it that bit of extra pop, so to speak. His crotch piece is shaded right there. A little bit of shading right here on the back of the pants, and then a little bit on the front as well, just to get all those folds out and just bring in that extra detail and like give it more definition, so to speak. So while we're here, you know, we will compare him to the regular anime version of Ultra Instinct Goku. This is manga, and then this is anime for those who don't know. As you can see on the anime figure, the hair is a much softer, less angular, and you know, just overall a less defined sculpt. It definitely is Ultra Instinct, and you can tell that. But if you just look at the manga version, they're drawn differently. So you know, this one is much more angular. It's more defined. It's much more. It just seems to have more personality to it, I suppose, is the best way to put it. We'll do a sort of a 360 side by side with these real quick, you know, so you can take a look at that. Again, I still love this, you know, I like both, but I do think I prefer the manga just a bit. And then as you can see on this guy, there's no shading or anything on the top half of the figure, but on the bottom half you do get some really nice shading on the pants, which I would argue is actually better a better job of shading versus this figure. But yeah, I mean, if a figure has shading, it has shading. If it doesn't have shading, I'm not pressed about it, you know. I love both of these figures. I just do prefer this guy just because he's just that fucking cool. So yeah. So let's go ahead and get into some size comparisons. Size comparison times comments. Here we have the UI Toyotarou Goku next to the full Power Ranger in action figure. I figured you guys would want to see this because maybe you want this guy to be your anime Goku from Tournament of Power. So yeah. Here we have him next to the Ultra Instinct signed Goku action figure. Here we have him next to the Super Saiyan 2 Goku action figure. Here we have him next to the Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Goku action figure. Here we have him next to the Superhero Son Gohan Ultimate Edition or Ultimate Form action figure with the Super Saiyan head. And last but most certainly not least, here we have him next to the SH Figuarts Beerus action figure. Figured you guys would want to see this one as well. Alright, let's move on. Alrighty then, it's time to go over the accessories. So I'm not really going to spend too much time on the hands. They're your standard SH Figuarts Goku hands. We all know what these are by now, especially if you have more than one SH Figuarts Goku action figure. So yeah, we'll just put those back in storage. However, we will take a look at these faces, and we will talk about a bit of a QC issue that I unfortunately do have on this figure. So for the windswept hair, that's mainly where my issues are with the QC. So as you can see, this face is perfectly lined up. There's no gap in between the hair and the top of the forehead on the closed eyes face. By the way, you get 5 faces with this guy. Unreal. That's awesome. You know, like 5 faces with a figure is so good. And the fact that you get this extra beautiful, you know, windswept hairpiece. So we will throw on the screaming face here. And I believe this is one of the ones. Yeah, definitely. So this one is one of the ones that has a small gap. And yes, it is a small gap, but I don't know. I feel like this will bother some collectors. I mean, you can see, you know, right there that it is a bit of a gap. This one's not that bad. I believe, let me see here. I believe this face might be the one that's has the worst of it. Oh yeah, you can see that even before I put the hair on. I mean, oh wait, is it the one that where he's looking off to the side? I don't know, dude. I never really like paid attention to which face it. Oh yep, you can see that right there. Yep. I mean, it is a small gap, and it seems to have like somehow gotten smaller over time. Huh. So we will just do all 5 faces on this windswept hair. And yeah, there it is. There it is right there. There it is. That's the one. That's the one. Yep. Yep. Yeah, that it's so off-putting. Like there's such a gap between the hair and the face, you know. So yeah, I will be putting this face on real quick. Be right back. All right. So, yep. We will not be doing head swaps today on this video. That will be a separate video. Oh, yep. I don't think this one's as bad as the one that I just had on him, but we'll see. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. Okay, so now we're going to show the faces on the standard hairpiece and see which ones are. So this one looks fine. This one looks good. Okay. So the screaming / powering up face looks pretty good. Definitely not too bad there. Now for these. Okay. This one might have like a very, very slight gap. No, that's perfect too. Alrighty then. You can just skip through some of this. I probably should have cut it up, but I don't know. I just figure, that one looks fine too. So it might be only that one face, what was it, the one where he's looking off to the side, this one, that it has a QC issue. It looks like it's cut like the measurements of the cuts are off by like a millimeter, I want to say. But on this face it looks fine. No, wait, there is a very slight gap. But now when you put the bangs on, okay, it's very, very slight. It's so hard to see. But yeah, this is the face that was cut incorrectly. So that's why with the windswept hair, it doesn't look, you know, all that good. So yeah. Really quick before we move on to the next section of the review, I just wanted to say that I think this is an excellent body choice. I mean, it's kind of obvious because this is literally already MUI Goku's body. But if you look at how he's drawn in the manga, like even if you look at the box art, he's a bit buff on the box art, but like you can see that the musculature is just extremely similar, because even though he's like bigger on the box art, it's still like he still has that slim / cut build instead of like the bulky / cut build. So if you look at most panels that Toyotarou has drawn of Ultra Instinct Goku, he is slimmer and more cut versus like, you know, being Super Saiyan, or like he doesn't look like Jiren, he looks like he does when he's Super Saiyan God. So I think this is an excellent choice for the body. Yes, it is a complete reuse, but that doesn't bother me. They gave us some shading, you know, they gave it a new head, a new neck piece. They gave us 5 different faces and a one-swept hair piece. This guy, and the SA Figuarpedia, this guy is definitely worth your money. All right, let's move on. Articulation times, head to toe. Here we go, from the head down. All right, so he can look up that far with this hair piece. And I think it's the same for the one-swept hair piece. He can look down that far. He can look side to side. He can pivot his neck depending on how you have the ball peg configured. There is a ball joint at the base of the neck, so he can get some actually decent movement. That's not too bad, as you can see right there. Shoulders can do a full 360. He does have butterfly joints, so he can kind of bring his arms in. You just want to see that right there. Let me get this one situated appropriately, so he can kind of bring him in about that far, which isn't too bad. I mean, it's a bit limited, but you know, it's an older body. It's about 4 years old at this point. Shoulders go out that far, they go in that far. Upper bicep rotation, double jointed elbows, which bend in that far. The wrists swivel and hinge, and they are on ball pegs, so however you have them configured is whichever way they're going to swivel and hinge. And just like the old Ultra, I mean, this is the exact same body as the old Ultra Instinct Goku, so he can extend just up to there, and you can crunch forward that far. You can crunch back actually a little bit more than the old Ultra Instinct Goku. Yeah. Then he can rotate at the waist as well, and then he does have some, you know, like some diaphragm pivot as well, which is really, really nice. Legs can kick forward that far, they can kick back that far. He can get pretty darn close to doing the splits. It's pretty good. Upper thigh rotation, double jointed knees, and the radius of articulation on each knee is different because it is different sculpt for this knee versus this knee. So do keep that in mind as you're posing the figure along. And if you see this knee going further than this knee, don't try to push this because it will break, because it's not meant to go as far as this one. Just wanted to throw that out there. The ankles are on double ball pegs, so you can, you know, shift them back a bit to have them pointed upward at at a very slight angle. They can go down that far. You can, you know, tilt them in. They can rotate and do all that jazz. So yeah, there you go. Final thoughts, comments, and concerns about this figure. Final thoughts, again, if you can find this guy for a decent price online, lock him down. He is a great figure, and especially if you like the older MUI Goku, this guy, you will definitely like this guy. I know that Toyotarou's artwork is a bit controversial, but it also shouldn't be, because, you know, like I said in the unboxing video, Dragon Ball's art style just constantly changes and evolves. You know, you look at the first episode of Dragon Ball Z and the last episode of Dragon Ball Z, they're 2 completely different art styles. Same thing for Dragon Ball Super, you know, and the original Dragon Ball as well. I mean, the original Dragon Ball is way more consistent than Zero Super in terms of like having the same art style from episode 1 to the end of the series, but still. So yeah, I mean, if you hate Toyotarou's art style, then I mean, you probably just don't like art or Dragon Ball's general art style that much, I guess. Anyway, pick this guy up. You know, he comes with 5 faces, 2 different hair pieces, you know, the standard Goku hands. He comes with the SH Figuarpedia, for Christ's sake. Final rating for this guy is going to be a 9.5 out of 10. You know, just that little QC issue with the face being gappy on the windswept hair is a bit of a letdown for me. But besides that, you know, this figure is amazing. All right. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.